What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today, we have a special guest in the building. Listen, you guys haven't seen this man in a long time. This man here was part of a sound that was one of the biggest sounds in the early 90s coming from Scarborough. You know what we have in the building today? We have LYNDON, formerly of Soul Action, in the building today. What's going on, big boss?
How you doing, man? How you doing, Toronto?
I'm excellent. Thank you so very much for coming through today.
You know the thing.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially finding somebody like you, because whenever you talk about Scarborough and Scarborough songs, you talk about Red Flame, King Turbo, Barry Culture, Heavyweight, Soul Action. Everybody says, where's LYNDON? Where's Soul Action? What's going on? But here what? We found him, so we're going to have a great conversation today. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Blessed.
Welcome back to the East, my brother.
I'm here. I'm always here.
Yeah.
You just didn't know how to find me.
Yeah. You know what? That's what it is, because a lot of people always ask, where's this man? And again, we found him today, so then there's a lot to talk about, especially where you're coming from musically. I want to get into before Soul Action and get into Soul Action, all right? So when it came to music, how did you even get involved with music in the first place?
Well, Jamaica, born and raised.
Okay.
You know, we used to mimic selectors. You know, try to emulate all kind of selectors. But when I migrated to Canada, I took my first trip to New York. The year was 1982.
82. Okay.
All right. So. Hip-hop, I was introduced to hip-hop. Every summer I used to go visit my dad in New York. And that particular summer, 1982, there was a block party on a street called LYNDON. That's Church and 55th.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Round Church and 55th, right? That's in Brooklyn, New York. And I was just amazed. Never seen anything like that. That was a block party. I guess it became Blocko after our Toronto-style Blocko, right? Yeah. And that was my first real experience then. Other than, you know, sound system at Jamaica, you know?
Yeah.
One turntable thing in the early days, you know. That was basically it.
Okay, so then that part there, and what type of music were they playing back then?
Hip-hop, man.
Yeah.
Get hip-hop, get introduced to hip-hop.
Yeah.
And remember the first time I heard one of my favorite songs, well, to date, but I didn't know it was going to be my favorite song. But that song just did it all. Planet Rock.
Come on. Classic.
Africa Bambaataa.
Yeah.
Soul Sonic Force, right? That was the introduction to the musical escapade.
Yeah. All right. And then when you came back, okay, this is New York now, the whole vibe and everything going on. So when you came back home now to Canada, did you actually start buying music? What was your first move from there?
No. So on the New York tip, I have to tell you another story because everything is based on connection, right?
Okay.
Connection.
Yeah.
So my uncle had a club, After Hours Club.
Okay.
Can't really disclose the age right now because I wasn't supposed to be there, right? And a night when, on a Friday night or Saturday night, I believe, when the selector was supposed to play, he did not show up. So I was like the only juvenile there. Everybody else was big. But the big man, them, couldn't play the song. So here I was, teens, right? Early teens.
Yeah.
Then give me the music. Or I knew the music. Because, again, I used to mimic it all way back, you know? Emulate, you know, selector.
Yeah.
Right? Or man dropping the music on the turntable. And I played the music. Even my bigger brother, he never understood nothing about it. He never understood the technicalities behind it. Never understood none of that. You know what I mean? All him know him put record punting and drop the needle. But there was no toasting then, but, you put the record and play the record till it almost finished, and then after that, you play another record. But let's just say I got rewarded heavily for that.
Okay. Yeah.
$40 or $50 US back in 1982.
Yeah. As a kid this time coming up too, you know what I mean?
Right. So there was some other cousins there now that they're a lot older than me, but they were on the trip to New York too. So when I came back, they wanted me to come to their basement and stuff. So I started going down to their basement, showing them how to play their sound and all that kind of stuff. So that was the amateur introduction to the whole thing, right? So leading up to that, So that was, years past, 83, 84, 85, So that was the introduction.
So then again, this is still hip hop that we're talking about here.
Well, no. Reggae.
Yeah. No, okay, reggae too.
Yeah. Right. Right. So the introduction, the first real love for the music came through hip hop.
Got you.
But then there was nothing going on in hip hop. But reggae's the root.
Yeah.
Or the roots.
Yeah.
Right? So we continued there. So this was reggae. So at 14, 15, I was writing lyrics. I was, a DJ or sing J.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was writing lyrics for older people, right? And that's where I was.
Okay. I had no clue. You know what I mean? I didn't know that you were that technical when it came to even writing and stuff. I thought, okay, you'd play music, but I didn't know that you actually wrote music also.
Well, I probably wrote about 3 or 4 songs. But everything is connected.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. Yeah. And then where was the next step in the journey here now?
Okay, so that kind of phase off, right? Was too young to go to Sunshine.
Yeah.
Right? Because the older guys, 3, 4-year-old, they were able to, right?
Yeah.
So I heard about Sunshine and heard about Sunshine Jam, but didn't actually get to go to Sunshine Jam because, I fell between that, I guess, that threshold, right? Here comes year now. If you notice when I talk or when I speak, I use year by reference.
For sure.
Right? So here comes 86, 87 now. Only part of things happen, but here is the other connection. A guy named Mike Charles.
Yeah.
He was a famous promoter in Toronto. Rest in peace, Mike. At the time, he wasn't really a promoter. And another guy named Rohan Reggio, DJ Divine, right? Okay. They had the little, what do you call it? We would call it funky, but it was like mixed music or dance music, everything.
Yeah.
So that was, what was his sound crew called? Diamond Point.
Got you.
Right, so Diamond Point. So Rohan now, DJ Divine, he was the guy that I actually saw playing on 2 turntables and mixing and scratching and cutting and whatever. So he used to have little gigs all over the place. We used to follow him. You have to remember, with Soul Action, there was actually 3 of us. There was Souls.
Yes.
Right? Or Daddy Souls. There was me. And then, of course, there was Mark also, right? So Mark, nobody really knew about Mark, but Mark was instrumental in everything that happened in Soul Action also.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
He might not have played, right? But, he was there. He was the guy on the drum machine then.
Got you.
Right?
Got you.
Right. So he was the guy on the drum machine. The connections again. So the music really started with Mark also.
Yeah.
Because Mark's brother, Rohan, he's the DJ Divine, right? So he's the one that I used to see play and whatever. And he was playing all over the place again, you know. So Mark and I and this other guy named Dean decided that we wanted to do the same kind of stuff. But of course we were younger, right? So Mark and I started buying records now. So we used to go to Carnival, Star Sound, started buying our records. None of us couldn't really play.
Yeah.
We were buying records, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, other than that introduction there, you know, from New York and down in the basement. So we started buying records. And we're buying records. And I guess it helped with DJ Divine's collection, right? So, you know how it goes. You want to be a part of something, right? So, by any means necessary to be a part of it, you're going to be a part of it, right? Even if you own 2 records, right?
That's your way into what's going on.
Right. So, there it goes. So, yeah, so we started buying records, you know. One time we were working at Mickey D's and, you know, McDonald's money and, you know, I do it like a thing. And Rohan, about a year after, so we're going back to about 87 now, right? 87, 88, end of 88, Rohan passed.
Okay.
So that created a void. So we decided that we're going to take up this thing because the big man that we were a part of all that time, he had passed.
Yeah.
So so Mark was going to play the reggae because I didn't really like reggae, right? But I loved hip hop.
Got you. Okay.
And Dean was going to do the slow jams, right? But I started playing, Mark started playing. Dean wasn't really too interested in it, right? So,
and this is still Diamond Point.
No. Diamond Point broke up, they broke up long before that. Sorry.
So what song was this that year?
Okay, so we didn't have a name then.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So we didn't have a name then. We absolutely zero.
Yeah.
Right? So, So I decided to start playing hip hop. Mark was gonna play reggae. Mark was more rough than I am, you know? Right? And Dean was supposed to play the slow jams, right? But half of the time we couldn't find Dean.
Right.
You know? Dean gone somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, we borrowed turntable. I had like a turntable, you know, the old belt drive turntable, but anything you do, you mimic, you dream, you know? So we were dreaming, you know? And until we linked up with some other guys and borrowed their turntables and started playing. Them time I couldn't really mix or anything like that, but guess what?
Yeah.
Practice becomes almost perfect.
Yeah.
So when this time now I'm in high school. So I went to Georgia Henry Academy. And then because all of my friends left there and went to VP, I was the only one there because I wanted to do something more academic instead of technical. But everybody was at VP.
Yeah.
So I went to Georgia Henry for 1 year. Then I transferred to VP and got into all the technical stuff. All right. So there we are. While going to VP, when everybody was playing basketball and playing football and everything, I would actually leave school, go straight on the turntables at home. Yeah. Especially when either used to rent or borrow. Sometimes you tell all the person who you borrowed from that you can't get it back for another 2 weeks or whatever, and they call you and you hide. Them time, you know, I had no cell phone. No. So you hide from. Yeah. Remember one particular guys I used to hide from, right? He used to borrow their turntables. Because they were using it, and they never necessarily had the talent or the desire for it. You know what I mean? I had the passion for it. Yeah. Right? So every evening after school, before even homework, from about 3:15 till about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Me I mix beats. I mix. I mix till all. One at a time I think so me I get sugar and water.
And again, this is hip hop that you're playing.
Hip hop, R&B, that kind of stuff, right?
Got you. Still didn't get into the reggae yet.
Still didn't get into reggae yet.
Yeah.
Reggae way after.
Yeah.
Like, this is what, 87? So reggae about 2.5 years coming, right?
Okay.
All right. So mixing, doing all the mixing, doing little cutting, little scratching, all that kind of stuff. Wasn't that good, but you know, till one day I just caught it.
Yeah.
Just caught the perfect blend. So when I caught it, I was like, wow, I know what to do. Yeah, I know what to do now. You count the 4 beats and you hold it there and boom,
the light bulb went off in your head. Say, okay, I understand the technical part of what's going on here now. Yeah.
Right. And from I caught it, that was it. Right? So because you catch it now, start by hold it more record.
Got you.
So it's me and Mark again. Right? And so boom, my brother, older brother, had a component set. By that time when Rohan died, he left an amplifier, right? So it actually needed repair. So me and Mark paid for that, and we paid, and we started hooking up little boxes and everything. So now, still never have a no name, right?
Yeah.
Still no have no name. There was this guy, Mike, that moved to Pickering. He had a sound. I don't remember what him call it, but it was a small sound because then it wasn't really no big sound.
Yeah.
So he started getting some dates for parties, house parties, but small little sound, you know. I mean, maybe 4 or 6 12-inch or thing. Not enough to shake anything, you know?
Yeah.
Right? So he started getting some dates in Pickering and in Scarborough. Well, not Scarborough, North York on our side there.
Yeah.
Because we bordered Scarborough, the North York side, right? DVP and York Mills. And started getting some date now and, you know, started playing. So this is 89-ish, right?
Got you.
All right. So that was then. We could go in a long story for that, but we're going to come right up to Soul Action now.
Yeah.
So prior to that, too, same guy, Mike, he had some little parties and stuff, so he would get me to play. Nothing big.
Yeah.
You know, nothing you put on flyer, right? So I started playing. Caught like a practice. But before that, again, connections again. Mike was doing, or we were doing promotions in Newmarket because Mike was playing at Club 404.
Got you. Yeah.
So this was, again, we're connecting back to Rohan before he died, but I had to tell it that way so I can tell it back this way, right?
Yeah.
So he was doing promotions in Newmarket because he was playing at Club 404. So at that time now, we were called Star Atlantic.
Okay, now you got a name.
Right.
Got you.
Right.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't the main player, right? Mike started playing because when Rohan died now, Mike was an MC, right?
Okay.
One of the best MCs, Michael Charles.
Yeah.
One of the best MCs in Toronto, you know.
Yes,
Sometimes
yes,
was
yes,
Daryl
yes.
Dark and Mike Charles. And,
Yeah.
Right? Right. So he was really an MC, but again, he knew how to play, right? I didn't even know he could play because when Rohan died, he had to do all the playing and whatever. So it was really Mike and Rohan.
Got you.
Right? So we started doing now some promotions of the spin-off of the Crowd in Newmarket, 404 Newmarket. So of course, me and Mark and Dean, we were working our little McDonald's money, Canadian Tire money, and funding the thing. So at that time, we were putting money into this thing, but we weren't necessarily getting any return. So the connection again is going to go back to, I learned the business.
Yeah.
And I learned the business by not getting paid for my support.
Yeah.
But anyway, so all right, so that kind of boiled off. So the three of us, Mark, Dean, decided that we were going to do promotions in Newmarket at the Newmarket Community Center.
Got you.
And because we were told that we were a part of Star Atlantic, we had our name. So by going around when Mike was doing all of his flyers and stuff, I learned where to print. I learned how to be a flyer boy, how to do all of that.
You're
so
learning the business.
Working for somebody, started working for myself, or for ourselves. So we actually did a promotion, did everything. You know, I was probably the main guy, the drive, you know, because I've always had the drive.
Yeah.
And we did a promotion. We rented Chic Dynasty when Leroy,
Yes. Big sound.
Right.
Yep.
So Leroy was then. He was doing our dances with Star Atlantic, school dances at Cardinal Leger in Brampton, all the school dances that Mike would get, because those were basically Mike's gig. Yeah. So I called Leroy, and you know, Leroy hooked up a sound, brought it up, and so that was the connection again too.
Okay.
Right? So after that, we're just doing our thing, playing in the basements, and you know, not on big dances like the bar culture stuff and things.
Didn't get to that level yet.
Because I didn't get to reggae yet.
Yeah.
Right? So now the crossover started coming when reggae started getting real popular. Reggae was always popular, but the older people was listening to reggae. The younger people wasn't really listening to reggae. So now reggae started getting popular, right? And I remember when Sorry came out and all of those songs were like any funky party or whatever was keeping. Even if you're going to play any reggae, you would have to play, you know, 4 or 5 of them songs, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Tinga Stewart. And,
the Cover Me, the Foxy Brown Sorry, and all those songs.
Then reggae started getting, so here comes this Buffalino, Travel Fox thing now, Kyango, right? So the twist, so reggae started getting popular, but because you weren't really in that, you know, you weren't introduced to that hardcore feel, because you have to remember, first and foremost, I listen to all kind of music, all genres of music.
Yeah.
I appreciate all kind of music, right? So growing up, we, you know, I had to, you know, take style from all kind of music.
For sure.
So anyway, so that was that, and that's a little stint there. So now we had the little sound crew. It kind of faded out, but we still never had no name, right? It was still, so Star Atlantic was really Mike Charles' stuff.
Got you.
Right?
Yes.
But me, Mark, and Dean, we never had anything for ourselves, right? We still never had a name.
Yeah.
Until now. October 1989.
Yeah.
That was the first time I played on Soul Action. So Soul Action was actually existing.
Okay. It was a sound that was around from before.
Yes.
Got you. And where was Soul Action originally from?
Well, it was originally based in the West End. It was a West End sound. So I didn't know much about it then, because I wasn't really around or in that time frame of everything was going on.
Yeah.
But Soul Action was around. Soul was a hardcore yard man.
Yeah.
So he knew Leslie Upsetter them. He knew Tempo, Soul, right? So he knew all of those, right? There was supposed to be a house party when Soul wasn't around, and he got back around. And there was a house party for one of his friends, and nobody was there to play the sound. So you see where it all comes back again, right? Nobody around to play the sound.
Yeah.
So anyway, his friend, Brooklyn, called us and said, yo, so, you know, some So look at you over there, so you know, them always a play music, they make them come play, man. So I went on the sound, right? That time the sound was even big, right? But the sound was big enough. Reggae sound, rubber-dub sound.
Yeah.
Went down into the basement. Actually, Souls brought the sound, set it up, went down to the basement, did the party. No whole heap of people never come. Probably about 5 people came to the party, right? Anyway, but started playing. Wasn't playing reggae. I was playing mostly R&B, right?
On Soul Action.
On Soul Action, right?
Okay.
So them time, everybody talks about Ron Nelson, what Fantastic Voyage show.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about Dave Dance Music.
Of course, he was on the Sunday, I think, same Dave, 1 to 4.
Dave Dance Music, playing freestyle, playing all that kind of stuff, Gina music, whatever you used to call it. So I actually listened to Dave more than Ron. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you know, hip-hop was, hip-hop was really for cutting up and scratching up and thing. But, you know, when you like music or singing music and playing music, and what I liked about dance music or mixed music, it had breakdowns.
Yeah.
So breakdowns were the perfect time to mix your beats, right?
Got you.
Right. On the 12-inch, you had the breakdowns, right? So that's probably what I liked about it. Why, you know, and then that helped me to start mixing, right? Because there was breakdown. And, you know, now, as a selector or a DJ or whatever you want to call it, when you see some guys chop the songs and all, and you get upset, especially when guys cannot mix.
Yeah.
That upsets me a lot, right? Right? Because you wouldn't mix 2 songs when they were singing, right? Chorus, breakdown. You know,
there's a specific way you're gonna mix these songs, and that's how it's supposed to be mixed right across the board.
Because we didn't just mix, we blend.
Yeah.
Right? So you go out of one song, the transition goes right through, you know, right? Anyway, so that was that. So, yeah, Dave Dance Music, right? So we're doing our thing. So anyway, so when the party done, Brooklyn said to Soul, yo, them boy can play, but I play funky music, them money I play funky music, right? So anyway, Souls invited me to his house in Ajax.
Got you.
Right?
Okay, so then now the song had came from West. Yeah. Now they're based in Ajax.
Okay, so he had lived in Ajax before I met him. Right?
Got you.
So this is 1989.
Yeah.
Right, but he's originally a West man. But one bigger house, smaller money.
Ajax.
Buy a house either. You know where I go, right?
Ajax or Brampton.
Right. Yeah. Well, Brampton came way after, but it was Pickering Ajax. It was Pickering Ajax, Whitby, whatever, right?
That's true.
Right? So, went to his house. Went downstairs into the basement, right? The same Techniques 12. I see the Technique. I was like, wow. The man invite me to his house. Him have Techniques 1200 turntable, right? This is what you really want all your life. No. Them time, McDonald's money couldn't buy.
No way.
McDonald's money couldn't buy 12s, you know? 1200s, right? Anyway, this man had them down there, bad care, you know? Like, you know? You'd do anything and them lean up in a one corner. You know? Chew down in a, well, I wouldn't say chew down, but they weren't properly kept, right?
And this is 1200s we're talking about here.
Right?
Yeah.
This is like the God.
Yeah.
You know? And saw them down here have one big ugly mixer. Right? And everything. But guess what? Started doing this thing now, started playing now. So he had some reggae records now. So I went through the records and whatever. So, I mean, reggae was all my roots. So, the older songs, like growing up, I knew. Like, me I talk from 80s song, from General Echo, come right up, you know?
Yeah.
Madu, you know, Tayan, right? He probably never had those in his thing, but it just meant that there has to be a transformation now, right?
Yeah.
So, out with the funky, right? Still played funk and all of that stuff, right? Hip hop, R&B, still love it, right? Up to today, but gone pan a reggae sound now. So you know, and then at that time, reggae was getting popular, like was really popular. Other than the big man, them I was
for the younger
generation, right? So So started playing now and everything, and you know, coin up the craft, and started playing, and you got proper equipment now, so you don't have to hold back on nothing and make it catch and thing. You could just, so started getting better, But then I was already good because I knew how to mix and scratch and all of that stuff. So anyway, here comes the professional sound now. So this is 89.
Yeah.
October 89. So we started playing, then some guys in Pickering and Major Oaks and all of them places. Other guy named Anthony Crunch, he had good link. So we started getting some party and we started doing. So here comes the basement party that's already started, I guess, by Bar Culture and them, right? But started linking up with them. Started linking up with them and started doing some little things. Never had no dub plate.
Dubs didn't start to come in yet.
No. And when dubs came, dubs were few, but I'll give you the story of all of that, right? So, at that time now, 1990, right? Year start. Ramsey.
Yeah. Yes.
And Wilson Music Promotion gave us our real introduction, not as playing sound, but as sound system.
Okay.
So, I've never heard anybody really mention Ramsey and Wilson Music Promotion, but
Ramsey used to bring Bodyguard all the time and all those stuff there.
Okay.
Ramsey Dread.
All right. So Ramsey and Wilson. Don't forget Wilson.
Wilson did some concerts at Cope and those type of places.
It was Ramsey and Wilson Promotion when we were talking about reggae.
Yeah.
So now Ramsey started using soul action sound now for all when the yard sound them start come up, right?
Okay.
So, Bodyguard.
Yes.
I don't remember in the city if they did. Roadstar. My favorite. Super Saint.
With Midnight.
Captain Midnight. Doing things live because that's his jive.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So all the yard sound. Stereo vibes with Richie Poo.
Yes.
Right? That's, I guess, after he left Nuclear Exodus.
Yeah.
Right? So we started doing the setup for him, for all his dance, and used to do big setups.
Yeah.
He had something called, I think it was a farm barn dance. And
yes.
All them things, right?
Yes.
Right? So here comes my introduction to seeing yard sound play, right?
Yeah.
So CM Tony from Bodyguard, when those guys played, I noticed when the yard sound them come up, them, I don't know, these guys are like so professional.
Yeah.
And you would think that Jamaica wouldn't be professional, but these guys were very professional.
For sure.
These guys came, they organized their music out, they put a big table like this, then put out their music, them thing, and all kind of thing. So I said, they really want to do this,
Yeah.
So Hungarian, all the whole of them places, all of them sounds. Right?
You guys set up in all of these places as soul action sound system, but not playing on them.
Not playing.
Got you.
Right? Club El Dorado, Rosada Club across the street.
Symphony.
Right? Rivaldo Road.
Yeah.
Right? So, boom. So at that time now, Souls invested in Crown Amplifier. Right? So we never really had, we had about 4 bass JEs for ourselves. But you could have rented box like most people used to do.
Yeah.
What's the sense of having a big sound when you're not playing anything? So the engineering part of it now was a wonder. So we have to get to the engineering part before we do the music, because the engineering helped created the music part. So anyway, I guess he was probably like me, or I was like him. We loved it.
Yeah.
Souls loved it, right? You didn't have to give him $1. As long as somebody said that stuff that he produced was good. I was kind of like the same way too, right?
Got you.
Right? So, we got the Crown amplifiers. Them time, all of the West End sound, them I use all kind of all kind of stuff. I use all kind of crossover, Richter scale.
Yes.
Never see something that I hated like that. When you press it.
You didn't like the Richter scale?
No.
Yeah, no, I liked it because of the sound effect part. You know what I mean?
If you understood true sound,
Yeah.
all that stuff that man was putting on sound, they were garbage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All that extra stuff. You didn't need it to be extra. So most of the West sounds got everything from Long and McQuaid.
Got you.
Right? So there was this company in Ajax called Apex Sound and Light. White guys run the sound, the thing, right? So we would go there and we'd bring our West ideas that we'd hear from other people. And it says, no, but if you use this technically, if this... So there was actually a guy there named Ted, the technician. I call him Technical Ted.
Yeah.
But this guy was technical down to the bone, right?
Yeah.
So he started saying, if you get rid of all of these little RCA wires and all, and then start using the proper wire to carry the proper voltage and signal and all, you'll get better sound.
Yeah.
So he started rerouting some stuff, and we started rerouting some stuff. But of course, he didn't know about reggae sound. So after he did all of that with a crown amplifier, get the parametric EQ, graphic EQ from Rain, we never had no whole heap of something, but our sound played good, right?
Of course, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
So we then changed out the regular mixer that everybody used to use, and we got the PPD Newmark 1775.
Yes.
So
yes.
one of the wickedest Newmark mixers to me,
Yeah.
right? Because that mixer had the sampler and the recorder and thing, right? Everybody had them echo chamber and all of that stuff. You didn't know, you didn't have to use that anymore.
Yeah.
So once we tweaked it and everything, the bass had left and right. So Soul run the mid range through the left and the bass stick, so you could kill your bass. Enough man, you say boom, press Richter scale for kill. You could have killed everything right there.
Right off the mixer.
Everything off the mixer.
Yeah.
Right? So we use EV top end, Surinega JE bottom, right? So boom. More yard sound start coming, like the sound, whole heap of hook up and everything. So Midnight wasn't one of the last of the batch of the yard sound that Wilson brought up and thing.
Yeah.
Right? So one night I actually watched him. I said, Blood see, the one man can play sound.
Yeah.
Because before a two man play sound, one man in a one car now over there, so with a mic and I say, you'll have selector, and all kind of thing. And, you know? And I say, how one man a talk and one man a play and a do everything.
Yeah.
But the secret was being organized. So the connection goes back to how the yard man them organized. Everybody organized. So I said, no man, I have to learn this. So them time I was playing, but anytime I was playing, some guy would take up the mic.
Yeah.
And while they are playing, come down, Miss Selector, play this, play that, and play that. You're playing.
Yeah.
And you're making the selection, and man, wheel, and sometimes you're not even ready for wheel, or you know, nothing what wheel. So I said, no man, that have to change. Right? So started watching Midnight, watch him style, watch the other yard sound style, and I say, yo, this can happen, you know. So the first thing I had to do was get the mic sound. So you know, you had the Rory sound, you had the Midnight sound, you had everybody have a little sound, but the whole sound actually came from Barry G.
Okay, so Barry G was the one that invented it, but it seemed like Rory refined it.
All right, so you have to understand, you would have to live the culture, you'd have to be in Jamaica for part of the time.
Yeah.
Before Barry G, right, there was man like Don Toppin.
Yes, yes.
Don Toppin say man who dilly-dally end up in hospital trolley, and he, you know, puts a little, you know, twist to it.
A flair, a vibe.
So you take out the pot one and we call it uptown talking and thing, right? So Don Toppin was there. He had other personalities, radio personalities. But Barry G came at the time when the dancehall was even getting more professional. So again, he spoke proper English, right? But he mixed it with the little patois, but you could still understand, and he had the little and all of that to it and all of that, right? And so doing research now, you know, after pilgrimage to Jamaica, right? you know, we could say, how come everybody a talk on the mic and a sound pss, 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 pss. So Rory had his style,
Yeah.
right? But the style that I liked the best was Midnight.
Midnight was your inspiration.
My inspiration all the way up to this day.
Yeah.
Right? Because he did the Don Topping, he did the Barry G, and I think he did it better than everybody. But you can't give whole heap of people
For sure.
You know, there's a whole heap of mic toasters out there, you know, coming right up, you know. Right? But I definitely gave Midnight that, and I emulated him.
Yeah.
Right? So we go down in the basement and, you know, practice. But you know you can't sound like him, so you have to put your like a style and whatever, right? So you put like a style.
Because prior to this, you weren't talking on the mic at all.
Not really.
Yeah.
No, not really. So you had to actually go practice first.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna put it out there unless it's, you know, it's perfected, right?
Yeah.
So you go home and we practice. And you talk to yourself and you do all whatever.
For sure.
Right? And started to do it. So being a mixer already,
Yeah.
all I had to do was learn how to talk,
Yeah.
right? So I learned to talk. I had the equipment, and the equipment would be like you driving a car that's tailored for, I don't want to say handicap, physically challenged person, right? So up there is your control. You don't have to touch nothing down there, don't be distracted.
That's
Organize
pretty
your
smart.
music. Your
That's
music
smart.
organized, right? You have assistants, then me and Mark, right?
Yeah.
So if me can't reach something, Mark would and thing there, right? So boom, play the music, talk, right? I wasn't into that clashing thing. Me, I come from them days, right?
Yeah.
Music loving, music playing, all that thing, right? And then I met up on the era of mic toasting.
Yeah.
So between 88 to 92, you know, you had the Ian Roadstar, right? You had I wouldn't even silver them, I did really later when Richie Pugo, but you had the Roadstar, Inner City, right?
Gemini.
Gemini, Glamour Wayne, yeah, but I wasn't really a thing there.
Yeah.
I liked the people that mixed
The
and
mixer
and talker. You know,
Got you.
Right?
Got you.
Right. So I like the mixer and talkers.
Yeah.
I didn't like the people who stop music all the time and make a big talk.
Right.
And thing. Mixer and talk,
Yeah.
right? So that's just my opinion, right? And my
For sure.
interpretation,
For sure.
right?
For sure.
Of who I really emulated. I'm not saying others weren't good or anything, you know, but maybe because it came at that pivotal time when we just get we first set a soul action dub, and it so happened that Super Saint did come up like a month before, right? Like a month before, and they played on the song. So everything just happened on that timeline, right? So this is 1990 summer now. We get the first set of dubs.
What were some of the dubs that you got that time?
So the first set of professionally cut dubs.
Yeah.
Because before that we had a Japanese dub. Everybody balling.
Yeah.
Balling for soul action. But if I didn't know the music that well, then I would ask for the wickedest Hot Man.
Hot Man.
Right?
Yeah.
I would ask for that. And then Tipali and Rapper Robert and Tipali. Right. So probably two dub played, two songs for each. But they sounded like Frizzle.
Yeah.
Right? Not this Canadian production
Yeah.
still, right? But they were cut in Toronto, and the engineering wasn't a thing. So Souls went to Jamaica, 1990. All right? 1990, yeah. When was it Gulf War? First one.
1990.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Late 1990.
Right. So around roughly that time, he come back up and he came up with some dub plate, went to the mighty Arrows studio when Arrows had the orange label.
Yeah.
So in that collection, Soul Action real first set of dubs.
Yeah.
So of course there was a whole heap of no-name artists, right? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Captain Barkey was pretty good. Tony Rebel was pretty good. That came in the collection. Early Capleton.
Oh, yes, because we're talking 1990, and that's when Capleton got his bus, too.
No.
Was 1990.
Yeah, well, that was the year that Capleton was supposed to bust.
Yeah.
But Buju overshadowed him and take a bus before Capleton, so Capleton had to rebus.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the year when we got Capleton #1 on the Look Good chart. On the thing they read him and you know, right. And Baby Wayne. Early Baby Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby Wayne. So these guys used to hang out at Arrows. And then if you went to Arrows, you'd get a guy like Major Wang or Major Wang, right? And General Pickus. So these guys were really no-name artists, but they make up your dub plate. You understand?
Yeah,
because
for
dub
sure.
plate a dub plate when they are called, right? So another no-name artist was there. Name what? Soul Action, probably, would you say the best? Would it be the most recognized dub?
Which one was that there now?
Grindsman.
Oh, yes.
So it was a no-name at the time.
At that time there?
No, there was no name. Like if I tell you what we paid for a Grindsman, you'd walk out of the room, right? At the time, right? Because we were just cutting dubs. But you have to understand what was going on, why we were just cutting dubs. So I didn't know that Soul's intention was really to bring the sound to Jamaica. So he wanted to build the sound.
Got you.
Right? And then concentrate on dub plate later. But if you had told us that, me and Mark that, then we probably wouldn't have been so into it.
So invested in the sound because you figure this is something that's going to be built for a time. We're going to be doing our thing.
Right. Right. So when King Turbo and Red Flame and all of them are cut one whole heap of dub plate. If we had decided to cut dub plate, or if Souls had decided to cut plate, we could have cut enough dub plate too. But we were buying equipment. And then it comes back to the connection. How much Scarborough Sound had their own sound system.
Wow.
Right? All right. So anyway, me being the sort of perfectionist that I think I am, or try to, right? So all right, quality we are dealing with. So when we got the first set of dub plates and I hear other people dub plates and thing, and Harris dub plate, I say, oh, Harris dub plate sounds so good and thing. So man would call, I would hear Candy Studio in Spanish Town and even jammings. Sometimes jammings, you cut good and then next time depends. So the first set of arrows are fatter mix and a litter.
Okay.
Right.
So that's early arrows.
Or early enough arrows then. Because you know Arrows International long before that, right? So, got those dubs, Punani Rhythm, one of my favorite rhythms of all time.
For sure.
Arrows Punani Rhythm.
Yes.
Right? And we start playing now. So here comes now. Here comes more dances, more basement dances. Start playing with them time King Turbo and Barry Culture.
Yes.
And Red Flame around things, right? Right? So we start playing with them now. Start doing a whole heap of stuff now.
So I guess because you guys, the sound is based in Ajax, Scarborough is where everything's going on.
Right.
You guys have the sound.
Right.
So it makes sense you guys actually got somewhere to fit right in. Because remember, King Turbo didn't have a song.
Right.
Red Flame didn't have a song. Barry Culture had a song, but it wasn't
the sound that you'd like to play on.
Yes, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what it was. Stereo Choice had a song too.
But they were just phasing out.
Yes.
So they were phasing out. When Stereo Choice, when they were phasing out, that's when King Turbo and them.
Yes.
First time I took in a Scarborough sound was some barn dance up at Markham and something King Turbo. I guess that's when King Turbo was starting to thing there. And then the whole heap of dance and Mary Pearson, Barry Culture and thing there. So here comes us now. Right? And we're there doing our stuff. We're doing a whole heap of stuff at Durham, you know? And, start getting recognized. But I'm going to tell you something right now that you did not know. We only got popular because of this guy named Aziz.
Yes, of course. Listen, I was waiting for you to bring Aziz into the fold here now.
All right. So what used to happen now, I used to make, call it mixtape then, right? But, a guy would want some music. And you make a tape and whatever, make a tape, engineered it, whatever, from start to thing. Aziz took it, right? I don't know if he took it out of the car or something. Go rinse it, go dub it and rinse it at Milliken. So the request started coming in because one thing about me, when we're doing anything, we
Yeah.
try to do it our best, right? So
Always.
I would set the levels on the tape so we get that perfect sound. We had good dub. We had good equipment. So if you listen to, if anybody have a Soul Action cassette, no.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain if you play that, you're going to hear up to today, almost today's standard.
Yeah.
Them time everybody I used TDK used to go to Byway and buy the 100 minute. I forget who used to make them money, right?
Yeah.
So now, when I saw that there was a market for that, I started making like 2 mixtape a week.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
you start them off different and whatever, right? And it not just making the mixtape, but we started bigging up people and start beat furnace and all of them thing and make it seem like so simulated the dance hall.
Yeah.
So those cassettes got out.
Okay.
And so that's how we got popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after people start hearing about Soul Action now, more dates come basement dance, and start doing the basement dance and, that was it. Yeah.
Was there any clashes that Soul Action actually got into, or were you guys more into the juggling?
Okay, we're more into the juggling still, but there was a clash that Barry Boots set up, right? It was, you might have to omit that.
Yeah.
It was at the concert hall. I don't remember who was the promoter, but it was in the basement. Soul Action Red Flame. But, yeah. Soul
What?
Action Red Flame.
Yeah.
Man. But you have to understand. Give Spider him props and everything. We were totally unprepared. That day, everything went wrong. We prepared for it, but with Flight on Air Canada, we were dubs just never come in until the next day, right?
You know what? I remember this clash now that you say. Yes.
Concert hall, basement. Right? Them time, Souls was supposed to come up, but Souls used to divert all the time, right? Because he used to just divert. He used to go yard all the time. So it was me alone. Him say he was going to come up,
Yeah.
right? And he didn't come up, right? So if he had came up, would have been more prepared because he would have dealt with the sound. I would have dealt with the music. So that night, I had to deal with Soul Action sound, me and Mark.
Yeah.
Me and Mark alone. I have to deal with Soul Action sound, set up sound, organize music, everything. And then, dub plate, them never show up.
Yeah.
Anyway, we did whatever. Red Flame won.
Yeah.
Right? Red Flame won the clash. And that's probably was the only clash.
Okay, because you guys weren't into the thing here. Your thing was, it seems like Soul Action was sound system first, music after, dub plates third.
Well, it would appear to be that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily that. But that's what it ended up being.
Yeah.
Right? Right? But the reason for that is that the true nature of the sound was supposed to build the sound and bring to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Right? Who want come. It was soul sound.
Yeah.
Right? Who want come. Right? But he kind of conned us.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there when we do whole heap of basement dances, as you know.
Okay.
Play with, I call you Operation Radication. Right?
Listen. The main thing was there was 2 songs in Toronto that you wanted to play on and you would feel good playing on them. If you're in the East, Soul Action 100%. If you're in the West, Soul to Soul. From you playing on these 2 songs here as a soul man or as a DJ boss, you know, okay, yeah, now you're doing something good. Because again, as you said, Soul Action, they had a thing on the mixer where that's where you turn down the bass and all of these stuff here. Because I remember sometimes you'd be in a dance with Lyndon. You'd see Lyndon talking and his hands on the mixer like this. I don't know what you're touching, what you're doing, but your hands were always moving. I said, this guy's a freaking amazing, bruh. Lyndon Soul Action.
Respect.
You talked about you guys played a lot of the basement dances and stuff like that. This was before clubs and all these things here. One of the things that really changed the fabric of basement dances was when Ratchet got killed in a basement dance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Were you guys actually playing that night there?
Yeah. Yeah. Ratchet dropped right in front of me. It was Delta Force, King Turbo, Soul Action. That dance, that basement dance, was going to be one of the wickedest basement dance. Early.
Yeah.
Juggling sweet, all of the sound them I play good. right? Delta Force I play good. King Turbo I play good. This was March 92.
You're good with your dates, boss.
March 92. And you know the dance where I play and I said that night the boy. That night was going to be a wicked. You ever go anywhere and everything is working right? Let's see. This is about early. You know enough people come and dance 12:30, 1 o'clock and thing.
Yeah.
This was about 11 something. Basement cock up. It was Mary Pearson.
Yeah.
You was here, blow. Everybody running gone.
Yeah.
Left me alone.
It was your sound.
My sound, yeah. Everybody run left. Everybody who come with me run left me gone too. Right? Running culture, everywhere.
Yeah.
Rescued me, took my records.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. I had to stay there with the sound and thing. Me and the dead man in the basement.
Holy, what kind of experience is that? Because again, you see, at that point there, we were partying every weekend, Friday, Saturday. It was just by the grace of God, I didn't go that night there. It's, honestly speaking, it was I met a girl. First time in a long time, I did not party on a Saturday night. I said, yeah, sure. I'll stay with the girl that night there. The phone rings like 3 o'clock in the morning. My big sister's on the phone. Said, yo, Ratchet got shot. I said, okay, where is he? Let's go to the hospital or whatever the case is. When you look now, she said, nah, man, he died. I said, what the hell? Because we were partying. I was supposed to be there. You know what I mean? It was just wow. And then now you were there. He's down there and you're there with the sound and you can't move because your sound is there.
Sound was there. So I had to stay there until the cops come. Did the interview with the cops and everything, and that was it. Sound ceased for about a week. Yeah. Yeah, man. That was a different experience.
Of course. So then now, again, you guys are doing a lot of stuff. So then what was the next move for Soul Action? Did you guys, because at that time, basement parties is practically stopped for a hot minute.
Yeah.
You understand? So then what was the next move for Soul Action at that point right there?
Remember, we had things in gear to go to Jamaica, right?
So you guys were gearing up to go to Jamaica at this time here?
Well, yeah, because when Soul's body equipment and everything, it was geared to go to Jamaica.
Yeah.
I don't think he really wanted to stay here, right? Didn't know that at the time, right? But yeah, that was it. So, well, everything blew off and we started playing parties again, all of that. But then, December 92, we officially moved to Jamaica.
Okay.
Right?
And you had moved with the sound this time here,
I
too?
went down and everything, played with the sound and all that kind of stuff. That was another experience again. I think anybody who's playing sound, they have to spend at least a month in Jamaica and see how things really go.
It's a totally, even we're just talking acoustic wise, it's totally different because now you're playing in an open air lawn where that energy, that vibe, how the sound plays is totally different than how it would actually play in thing there, than how it would play inside. You know what I mean?
Totally different vibe. And Jamaicans know music, right? Because, I've spent a long stint in Jamaica. And I actually, on my, call it pilgrimage, I didn't know music when I was here. I learned music in Jamaica.
For sure.
Yeah. Especially what I'm doing now. You know what I mean?
It was there. Yeah. What were some of the... Okay, if I remember good, there was a dance with Soul Action and Bodyguard in Jamaica when you guys first went down, and I think it turned into a clash. Is that right?
All right, so it was a dance between Bodyguard and LP International with Stereofish and Puma.
Yes, that was the dance.
We were the juggling sound. Soul Action was the juggling sound. LP played on Soul Action sound, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that dance was in Lionel Town, right? Lionel Town. So what happened is now, LP and Bodyguard was doing their thing, their clash. We were the warm-up sound or whatever. So it might have sounded like we were clashing, but we weren't clashing, right? We weren't clashing Bodyguard, right? It was LP, but Stereofish did really beat up Bodyguard. Yeah, and beat up Bodyguard the dancer, wicked.
Yeah.
Stereofish and Puma?
They came to basically their town and beat them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that. So, okay, now Soul Action went to Jamaica. What was the reception like for Soul Action in Jamaica? Was it an uphill battle? Was it easy? What was it like?
Wonderful. It was easy like a Sunday morning because there's music that you could have played in Jamaica and get whole heap forward that you couldn't play in Canada because you didn't know music here.
Yeah.
Right? Or the people weren't introduced. I shouldn't say that. The people weren't introduced to music. But in Jamaica, the same time Garnet Silk went rain and all of that, before Garnet Silk died and thing, oh my gosh, man, you play anyway, the warm welcome that you got, the reception, everything, totally different experience. Totally different experience.
And what were some of the stuff that you guys were doing when you guys got down there? Are some of the places you played? Where was the sound now based when it got to Jamaica?
Based in Bull Savannah, St. Elizabeth.
Okay.
South St. Elizabeth on the border between Manchester. So we were playing Manchester, St. Elizabeth, mostly, Clarendon,
Because that's in that side there. Yeah.
That side.
Okay, and then you guys went down there to actually, so people could rent the song a lot, or you guys went down there to actually make an impact as a sound system?
Went down there as a sound system, to make an impact as a sound system, because that's where Souls really wanted.
Yeah.
That's what he really wanted to do.
And what were some of the Bodyguard LP, what were some other dances that you guys actually played now?
Okay, half of the time I wasn't even there, Yeah, like I did my mixed music parties and whatever. Yeah. But half of the time there was this other guy named Russian. So that was just about the same time when we're going from mic toasting, right, to the screaming.
Yeah.
Right? So then same time now, bass of this start to about them head, right? Then you had, at that time when we went down there, Jamrock was the sound.
Yes.
Jamrock was the sound. Then you had Super D and all of that. But we never played with them. They were a thing there, right? They were Kingston side.
Yeah.
We were countryside. Black Cat was there, but of course those sounds are bigger sound than us and whatever. So you have to kind of, work your way up, kill some sound or whatever and come in before you actually. So other than Bodyguard, Bodyguard was probably the only big sound at the time that we really played. We played with, Street Thunder, Bozak, sounds that nobody didn't know.
Bozak, I forgot about that sound. I remember that sound there.
Right, them kind of sound. No, we killed them the sound.
Yeah.
Bozak, like we killed what we're supposed to kill.
Yeah.
Because again, we were going into the suck your mother. Oh, can I say that?
Yeah. You said it.
Right. The screaming and the, Pantan, Yunsi and Nuts and Super D and here comes the big bad bass Odyssey.
Yeah.
Right? Actually, bass Odyssey, I pretty well, I think, them bossa country, them bossa Manchester and the St. Elizabeth.
Yeah.
They were playing the one rock with the transit and the court box.
Yeah.
I used to see that enough.
Yeah. Bass Odyssey.
Yeah.
So when you say Soul Action actually, did the sound flourish in Jamaica or the sound faded? What was the real transition like when you got to Jamaica?
All right, again, when you're new, right? People want you, right? Then it faded, right? It faded. Maybe the direction that I wanted to go. At that time now, there was another selector on the sound.
Okay.
Right, Russian.
Yeah.
Right? And I understood because I'm living in Canada, right? So I go down there, can spend maybe a month, can't really spend a year or whatever. So at some point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when Russian came, that's when the transition from mic toasting was going to the thing there. So he was more of that guy.
Yeah.
You understand? The screamer and younger and, all kind of stuff, you know what I mean? But I knew, being business-minded, I knew that it wasn't going to last a long time.
Okay.
No, man. It wasn't going to last a long time. And if you, in retrospect, if you look back at all the sound, how many sounds from then can still really get deep now?
What was it that it wasn't set up to actually make it be a business, or what was really the problem why you couldn't really say, okay, from here to here, we're going to last for the next 30 years?
There was absolutely no management.
Yeah.
And the direction that I wanted to go, Souls never necessarily wanted to go that.
Yeah.
Right?
He just figured, let's take the sound to
Just
Jamaica
do
and it would
Just-
figure out
just-
itself when we
just
get there.
Figure it out. So there was
Yeah.
no management behind it, just, play down the money, come play for me, all that kind of stuff and all. So by then now, so this is 93, 94, right? 94 I actually left the sound and walked away. What enough people didn't know is that I actually owned 40% of that sound.
What?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
40% of the sound. If you were to divide it up, right? I know why I said that. Mark know why I said that.
Yeah.
Right? But technically me and Mark do 40% of the sound. Right? And it just wasn't, you're doing anything and you see that there's no way for it to flourish or the direction where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
I just walk away because I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was one situation or many situations make you walk away from that situation there?
Well, there was a couple situations. As again, I knew at some point, like how the bigger selectors bring a sound to a certain level and them leave and thing. I know at some point I'm gonna have to think. But the younger generation is coming in, right? Again, Russian might have been a little bit younger than me, the screamer and thing and all kind of that. But Russian was just a talker.
Yeah.
He couldn't really. For me, to qualify as a selector, you have to know how to mix and you have to know how to talk.
Yeah.
And if you can't mix and talk, if you can't do both of them, I don't consider you a real selector.
Got
right?
you.
So, selector in the toasting age, I would give Rory, Ian,
Yeah,
and of course Captain Midnight.
for sure.
In the screaming age, as a selector, I'd give Tony Mataran and Squingy,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's some others
Ricky
that you
Trooper,
could call.
you know what I mean? Trooper and the whole of those guys there too.
No, not Trooper.
Why wouldn't you say Trooper?
Because Trooper is not a mixer.
Trooper's not a technical mixer, but Trooper is a selector that knows how to talk. He's not going to give you the clean mix per se.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Right? So there's great MCs.
Yeah.
He would probably fall under that.
Okay.
See him with Richie from Inner City, right? There's a whole heap of MCs, right? I just see him thing like a Sky Juice then.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, but you're saying that not just so that they should have the technical mixing skills also to be put in that box there.
So they could either play at a party or clash.
Got you. Understand
Right?
100%.
You understand? So
yeah.
no disrespect.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's just my classification of things, right?
Yeah.
That's just my classification.
I got you.
Right.
Okay, so then you walked away from the song. So then I guess at this time here, what direction did the song start to go into after you left the song?
Honestly, I don't even know because up to today date, I'd really love to get back the dubs because of course Souls died. Rest in peace.
Okay.
Yeah, Soul died 2013, right?
Yeah.
But at that point, I don't really know what happened. But the guy that was in charge down there said, "Yo, if you can get the dubs, I'll pay you money to get the dubs, right?" But we don't know where the dubs have gone. Nobody. Well, somebody knows, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Anybody in the immediate circle don't know.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah.
The great Soul Action. And that's crazy because one thing I didn't really realize with Soul Action, it was such a short period of time.
Very short.
You said by 89, 90 you started playing reggae and by 92 you're gone.
Yeah.
That's only 2 years, boss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's 700 and something days. Yeah.
It was only 2 years.
Yeah.
So we were technically, we 93. So we left 92.
Yeah.
December. So 93, I would probably come back up and come with some dub, but it had really faded.
Yeah.
You understand? In 93, we faded.
Yeah.
We completely faded.
And even when you guys were here
Faded
before you
from
left,
here, right? But I left the sound January 94.
Yeah.
Right?
And what did you go into there? I want to catch quick what you were doing before I get you out of here.
Okay.
Right after you left Soul Action, what was your next plan there now for you as an individual?
Well, first and foremost, I always had secondary thing. I consider myself a young entrepreneur.
For
so
sure.
Always doing stuff in Jamaica, right? So when I left the sound, used to do a heap of stuff. I was in satellite, clothing, all that kind of stuff. Anything that could really make money. You know what I mean? Came back up and Gary Climax.
Yeah.
Right? And did a little stint. Wasn't really playing. It was really to organize them, but they never really wanted to organize or wanted to
You
be
know
organized.
what? That's where I seen the thing. You remember I told you I was speaking to you a couple weeks ago. I said, I swear you used to play another song. I said, no, man, only Soul Action. I have a flyer with you on Climax.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Dragon, this guy Dragon was doing a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. This a 94, 95 Climax. But, I wasn't really supposed to play. I was only really supposed to organize them.
Yeah, because that's what you were good at. You were the real technical guy.
Yeah, man.
When it came to how it looked, sound, perform, that's Lyndon 100% boss. When you came into a dance, how you even looked was different than everybody else. Your shirt would be tucked in, your belt up and everything. It's like, but the way how you played was freaking superb.
Yeah, man. Respect for that.
You understand? Wow. So it was the early 90s there, and then you left the song, you started doing stuff. 2020 right now, what are you doing nowadays?
You can call me DVJ Jerome.
Yeah.
So I'm. That would probably be another story.
Yeah.
But, I didn't. After leaving sound business, I didn't really leave sound business. I was doing behind the scenes. So I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Right?
Yeah.
We were doing music, same stuff that you were doing, mixtapes and all that kind of stuff. But 2009.
Yeah.
I got vexed and said, boy, I have to take up about this thing.
Yeah.
But I took it up on a different form. Video mix. Music video mix. Right?
In 09.
Yeah, in 09.
Yeah.
Right? 09, 10, 09 going into 10. So Digital Wiz in Jamaica actually got me into it. I saw him doing it and whatever, and I was doing it. And then here comes now the equipment to do it. At that time, Serato couldn't play video, or they weren't playing video.
Yeah.
So virtual DJ was doing it, right? Of course, you had to have big hard drive and whole heap of memory at that time. So, but Digital Wiz did it well. I saw it and I loved it, and I took it up.
Yeah.
And to get the video mix across to the people, I had to use another vehicle. The vehicle was karaoke.
Okay.
Yeah, so buck up on it. I was researching, and I went into virtual DJ tutorial, and I saw the music format that it played. Right. So I was just researching, and when I saw CDJ karaoke, I said, this thing can play karaoke. I downloaded a karaoke file, put it through it. I said,
I got them. You got them right here.
I saw it, and I said, yo, this could create wonders. So right away, sign up on some karaoke site, download it. Took it to Jamaica. This is 2010. Rum Faces Bar and Grill in Discovery Bay. Started doing it freehand karaoke. So I wasn't singing. I was just playing selecting the song with virtual DJ. Could actually mix. I got some reggae karaoke and started mixing reggae karaoke. So it wouldn't like you would sing and stop, right? If the singer could sing the songs, I would mix them in, and I brought that to the forefront, right? I'm not saying that I'm responsible for it, but I was one of the person that brought that to the forefront, right? So I use now karaoke to show people what video mixing or music video mixing was. And so in the intermissions, I'd play video mix, and trust me, I wish I was doing it from 30 years ago. Yeah, man, amazing.
Crazy, crazy. You see, when you're just meant to be, when you love something, you're going to find a way to stay in it and continue to move forward as much as possible. You understand? Because of video mix, you're going from hardcore sound system to now video mixing. That's two different worlds, but it's still in the same entertainment sphere.
Connections.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what I mean?
It all connects.
Crazy, crazy. One last question before I get you out of here. What was your most memorable night on Soul Action?
Memorable. I think that same night, you know.
Yeah.
Same night. When memorable, good or memorable bad?
Okay, you know what we did bad? Let's do a good one.
Oh gosh. There was a lot of good ones. There Perchire. Remember we used to play in the basement at Kennedy and Finch there.
Yes. Yeah.
There was one night when wasn't really nothing to talk about, but Capitan song. Special guests did just come out. And then the special guest girls were there.
Yeah.
Right? You remember the special guest girls, them make a talk and drop the song. The basement, the furnace lean up. Lean up, and then that bass line, you know, that Soul Action bass line come in. Yeah, man. That song, I never forget that song. The introduction of that song, special guest. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it had that rolling bass in it.
Yeah, man.
You understand? Lyndon, listen, thank you so very much. Whenever we have conversations about sounds, especially from Scarborough East, it's always King Turbo, Red Flame, Heavyweight, Barry Culture, Soul Action. Delta Force and all of them, those guys come up too, but the question is always, whatever happened to Soul Action? Now they know. Where's Lyndon? What was he doing? Now they know.
Yeah, man.
Crazy. Leave some contacts if you have any social media handles or anything so they could see exactly what you have going on. They could follow you and all that stuff there.
Yeah, well, I just started doing the social media. Wasn't really too a fan of it. I understand that it's a vehicle for
sure.
Whatever, but yeah, in the video mix stage now we have to do it. I always put it this way.
Yeah.
If I'm good, you'll hear about me. Right? I'm not saying if you don't hear about me, but eventually you'll hear about me. I'm like fine wine.
Yeah.
You know? Take a little bit of time. You understand?
Take some time.
We're in no rush going nowhere.
Yeah.
You understand? Especially with the music video mix, I see a lot of people doing it now. I've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Check me out. I will definitely put up some links on some stuff. Used to be at Sharky's on a Thursday night, Ocherius Jerk Center. So when it comes to big people music, that's basically what I'm doing now. I play all genres. I can play new, old, but big people music. Let's call it that way.
Yeah.
Big people music.
Keep it from there.
Yeah, man.
You're on Instagram?
Yes.
What's your name on Instagram?
DVJ_Jerome.
DVJ_Jerome. You guys check it out. Jerome.
Yeah.
Not Lyndon.
Yeah.
We left that for the sound man world.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? That's why I know for all intents and purposes, I introduced you as Lyndon on this podcast here because that's the route that we were going.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So definitely check him out on Instagram. You'll see everything he's doing. Lyndon, great conversation, my brother. Thank you so very much. I remember when I linked you a couple months ago, you said, nah, boss, we're not doing this online.
Yeah.
We're sitting down in the studio and do this. Because, again, it's your technical mind and how you think, you see things, and how you know things should be packages and put back out there.
Yeah, man.
You understand?
Yeah, man.
Big up yourself, family. Thank you so very much. Let me give you an outro and get you out of here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinedmusichut.com.